Hey everyone, I am Sandara A. Flores and I welcome you to this descriptive or detailed explanation about the phytochemical production pathway in plants or the biosynthesis of phytochemicals. So, the pathway behind my back depicts how plants turn simple chemicals into complex compound through a network of interconnected metabolic pathways. And now, join me in analyzing each connections and arrows to better understand or to better grasp the flow of the metabolites and the importance of each pathways. And now, to start with, we have here carbon dioxide and water that is combined to form or that is converted into carbohydrates. This arrow right here is representing photosynthesis, where plants synthesize carbohydrates like glucose from carbon dioxide and water. And this right here is the pentose phosphate pathway. The pentose phosphate pathway helps generate NADPH and riboses, or the 5 carbon sugars, which are crucial for the anabolic reactions and the nucleic acid synthesis. So after carbon dioxide and water is converted into carbohydrates, carbohydrates now undergoes glycolysis. As carbohydrates undergoes hydrolysis, carbohydrates forms pyruvic acid. It happens as carbohydrates undergoes glycolysis, breaking down glucose into pyruvate, yielding ATP and NADH. So, after carbohydrates undergoes glycolysis forming pyruvic acid, now pyruvic acid is now converted into acetyl-CoA. So, this arrow right here represents the pyruvate dehydrogenase complex, which decarboxylates pyruvate into acetyl-CoA, in which the acetyl-CoA is a key molecule for further metabolic processes. So, before we talk about what happens after pyruvic acid is converted into acetyl-CoA, let's go back to pyruvic acid. So, pyruvic acid undergoes shikimic acid pathway. So, it undergoes shikimic acid pathway. So, shikimic acid pathway is a pathway for the biosynthesis of folates and aromatic amino acid for plants, fungi, algae, bacteria, and more. So as pyruvic acid enters shikimic acid pathway, it forms or it produces aromatic compounds. So this arrow right here highlights the synthesis of aromatic amino acids, which are precursors for many secondary metabolites. So after pyruvic acid is converted into acetyl-CoA, acetyl-CoA now enters the TCA cycle or the tricarboxylic acid cycle. As acetyl-CoA enters the tricarboxylic acid cycle, it is oxidized to form ATP, NADH, and FADH2, providing energy and intermediate for biosynthesis. So after acetyl-CoA enters the tricarboxylic acid cycle, the intermediates of tricarboxylic acid cycle leads to the amino acid synthesis. This arrow right here represents transamination reactions. Transamination reaction wherein intermediates like ammonia are converted into amino acids. So, acetyl-CoA right here is used in the acetate malonate pathway, a pathway that produces fatty acids and polyketides. So this arrow pointing at fatty acid signifies the synthesis of long-chain fatty acid, while this arrow pointing at polyketides signifies or represents the production of these compounds, which can form aromatic compounds. So another thing is that acetyl-CoA enters the acetate mevalonate pathway, a pathway that produces terpenoids and steroids. So this arrow right here, this one, signifies the synthesis of terpenoids and steroids via the acetate mevalonate pathway, which is crucial for producing essential plant hormones and structural molecules. And now let's move right here. Earlier, we talked about the formation of amino acid. So amino acid is formed from the intermediates of the tricarboxylic acid cycle. And now, amino acid is the precursor of the proteins, the precursor of alkaloids, and the precursor of nucleic acid. Another thing is that these arrows pointing to proteins, alkaloids, and nucleic acids shows the diverse roles of amino acid in forming structural proteins, defensive alkaloids, and the genetic material. Lastly, we have right here the production of aromatic compounds, which is led by the fatty acid. So you might be wondering or asking, if the production of aromatic compound is led by the fatty acid, why is it connected with polyketides? Because this arrow right here highlights the role of polyketides derived from fatty acid. The role of polyketides derived from fatty acid forming aromatic structure that is important for plant defense and pigmentation. Generally, this intricate network of pathway demonstrates the complex biochemical processes in plants, converting basic molecules to a wide array of phytochemicals essential for their survival, growth, and their interactions with the environment. Lastly, these arrows and connections represents a critical step ensuring efficient and regulated synthesis of these vital compounds. That's it for today. Thank you and God bless.